Today, we're digging into a simple question with $1 billion answer. What is the single biggest force driving success in the 21st century? I'll give you a hint. The answer is hiding in plain sight, and it's probably not what you think. So let's start with that big question. What's really going to define success in the years ahead? Is it some revolutionary AI, a once-in-a-generation genius, or just having mountains of cash? We're often told it's one of those, right? But what if the real answer is something, well, a lot more human? On the one hand, you have the myth we're all sold. The lone genius, the all-powerful AI, the billionaire who can do it all. But the reality? The actual force behind today's game-changing breakthroughs? It's something else entirely. It's a well-orchestrated, collaborative team. Okay, first up, a 21st century shock, because the real revolution isn't what you've been reading about in the headlines. So here's the bottom line. The future belongs to the people who can unlock what we're going to call the team code. Mastering this isn't just some nice-to-have skill anymore. It's literally the new essential ingredient for anyone who wants to make a massive impact. Next, let's just tear down the lone genius myth and really get into why being brilliant all by yourself just doesn't cut it anymore. Get this, by next year, the world is projected to create 175 zettabytes of data. I mean, what does that even mean? It means if you tried to download all that data on a fast connection, it would take you 1.8 billion years. There is no way a single human mind can wrap itself around a world this complex. It's just not possible. And here's a critical shift you have to understand. AI is making individual expertise, well, cheaper. It's becoming a commodity. If a machine can write your code or create a design or analyze a spreadsheet, the value of any one of those isolated skills starts to drop. But you know what AI can't do? It can't replicate the magic that happens when you integrate all those skills together. And you can see this trend playing out right across history. Back in the day, a lone genius like Newton could single-handedly revolutionize a field. But today's problems, things like climate change or figuring out AI ethics, these are massive, system-level challenges. They demand collective intelligence, not just isolated brilliance. So, if that's the problem, what's the solution? Let's talk about unlocking the team code and the really ancient power of working together. This idea that we're stronger together isn't some new corporate buzzword. It's as old as human wisdom itself. This quote from Ecclesiastes reminds us that collaboration has always been fundamental to what we do. It's not a trend. It's a timeless principle. And we see this principle in action everywhere. Just think about it. It wasn't one person who put a man on the moon. It was the thousands of minds at NASA working together. ChatGPT wasn't built by a single coder in a basement. It was a massive multidisciplinary effort. And the iPhone? That thing was a symphony of hardware, software, and design teams, all playing in perfect harmony. And this leads us to something incredible that Google figured out. They did this massive internal study called Project Aristotle, and they found that the #1 predictor of a team's success wasn't the individual IQs of the people on it. It wasn't who was on the team at all. It was how they worked together. Things like psychological safety, trust, and a real shared purpose. That was the secret sauce. Now for the payoff. Let's talk about the $1 billion advantage and why collaboration is basically the new currency. And the data here it's just crystal clear. A McKinsey report found that companies with diverse teams, teams that bring different perspectives and skills to the table, are staggering 35% more likely to outperform their competitors. That is not a small margin. That's a massive competitive edge. So let's break down that advantage. First, diversity of thought. That's what sparks real innovation. Second, a team that's in sync can move and adapt way faster than any single person. Third, they create these powerful network effects, building out whole ecosystems. And finally, and this is probably the most important part, great teams just get things done. Ideas are cheap. Cohesive teams are the ones who turn those ideas into reality. Okay, so let's make this really practical. This is your new roadmap. It's about shifting your mindset from being a lone genius to becoming a team architect. So what even is a team architect? It's a leader who's not just the smartest person in the room, but the one who orchestrates talent and builds systems that let people collaborate effectively. I mean, think about Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Their real genius wasn't just in the original idea. It was building these unbelievable teams and systems that could execute their vision at a mind-boggling scale.
So here's the roadmap. You start small with a tiny team focused on a clear mission. You invest in your people first and treat the tools and the AI as their assistants. Then you intentionally design your entire workflow around collaboration. And you build that invisible glue, the culture that holds it all together. You get that right, you'll build teams so great, they can build other great teams. That's how you multiply your impact.
So let's bring this all home. With all the hype and all the headlines, it's easy to get distracted. But the real revolution of our time is not artificial intelligence. The revolution is rediscovering the power of human teams, amplified by technology, sure, but led by people. And that leaves us with one final thought. This revolution is happening right now, whether we like it or not. So the only question left for you is, are you going to be the one building the team, or are you going to risk being replaced by one?